James Melendez, James the Wine Guy. Stay tuned for a review of this beautiful Riesling. It is coming from the Finger Lakes, so stay tuned. So I was part of a larger tasting called the hashtag FLX Riesling tasting. It was a Twitter tasting, and I got the opportunity to taste 4 different Rieslings. This is one of them, and actually doing all 4 of the Rieslings that I received because I think it's really important to highlight this region. This has been a fantastic year, 2014, in that I've been tasting wines from all around the planet, near and far regions that I taste from often, and those that I don't. Finger Lakes would definitely be one of those wine countries that I rarely ever taste from. But it's high on my radar, it's important, and I'll be there in 2015. So I'm really excited on this pre-tasting to really go through and get some characterizations of these beautiful wines. So let me introduce the wine right now. This is Lakewood. This is called 3 Generations, and Riesling, of course, 2013 vintage, Finger Lakes. And this is an 11.7% ABV wine. You'll see that this is a really dry Riesling. So this is the IRF sweetness gauge. And you'll see on the very end here, dry, 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 which is an absolutely beautiful, great testament to wines from this region. And the IRF developed the sweetness gauge because I think a lot of people were not getting the Rieslings that they wanted. They might have been imagining an off-dry when they got a dry and vice versa. And I think it's a really great measure to really come to the marketplace with identifying the quality and the sweetness level. For me, it depends on occasion what Rieslings I will serve. It also my palate. What am I really wanting? And for me, this is a beautiful, gorgeous, dry Riesling wine. And for me, I think it's a really wonderful thing. So I was chatting back and forth on Twitter tasting, and it was really fun to speak with the family members. So as you can see right here, 3 generations. There are 3 generations in the winemaking process for Lakewood, and this is a fantastic, gorgeous wine. I hope to visit when I'm there next year. For me, this is an exemplary wine in that, let me just pour a little bit more. What I'm really dazzled with is when I tasting the Rieslings, they're not all the same. They're all different. They do have some characteristic notes, but ultimately they can really go in many directions. And I think that's why the Riesling is so beloved, because it really can, have a very big variation and expansiveness and complexity to tasting. So what we're going to do first is the scent characteristics, flavor profile, and the point score. But before I do that, I want to point out I have a Spitzenberg apple. Now, why this is important is one of my descriptors, and so I'll do another video on this. In particular, what I call my wine flavor characteristics videos, because I think a lot of people don't think these things exist. So when I call them out, I've had people say, "What's a Spitzenberg apple?" And what's an heirloom apple? What is a tayberry? That's another one I get called on all the time. But ultimately, it's to harken back to talk about beautiful flavor profiles that are actually being noted in the wine itself. So here we go first, the scent characterization. So notes of white flowers, honeysuckle. And I'm so glad to have the Spitzenberg apple because that is a notation on the scent characteristic here. Fresh citrus zest and stones in a stream. So here we go next with the flavor characterization and then the point score. Delicate, beautiful, nuanced. Gorgeous signature here of flintiness, stones in a stream, an heirloom apple, hint of spice, and white flowers. Now the price points that I'm noting from the Finger Lakes region are really reasonable, within something to enjoy on a frequent basis. This bottle is $19.99. So I'm going to put more information on the producer down below so you can reach out to them. And if you're in the region, you're in the Northeast, definitely pay a visit to the Finger Lakes. I'm going to because I think it's that important to do so. So I give this wine a 9.4 out of my 10.0 scale. So think of this as 94 points out of 100 points. Fantastic, gorgeous wine. An exemplary wine, something that you don't expect to find, but it's there. It's in Demdar, Finger Lakes region, and I think for me this is the great signature of this region. So stay tuned for more. An amazing year. I can't believe all the wines I tasted this year, and the best quality, the best artistic inputs, and the best imaginative wines that exist out there today. Thank you so much for watching. You'll find me on many social medias: Facebook, Twitter, Vimeo, Google+, Pinterest, LinkedIn, as well as Instagram and WordPress. Stay tuned for more. Thank you so much for following, and do me a favor, give a like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Salud.